DePep of Freehold Township. And Bill, the alumni game has been going on for a couple of years now.
This is the fourth year. A few years ago we were planning on some sort of a fundraiser, and I wanted to do something that the players would enjoy rather than selling candy or something, and naturally soccer players like to play soccer. So we got this thing together, and it seems to be successful.
Have any problems in getting the kids to come back?
No, they want to come back. They love to come back. Some have moved out of the area, but in fact last year we had one come in from California and one come in from Chicago to play the game.
How about in terms of talent? You're bringing some of your excellent players back. Is everybody who was playing tonight, were they all players for you?
Oh yes. One of the criteria is that you've played varsity ball here, and the guys that come back regularly are usually many of the fellas who were starters and good players.
How about strategy? You have any?
We're going to try to put 12 guys on a field right away if we can and catch an early lead.
Okay, Bill, good luck. And Heshe, you've played a couple times against this guy. You guys haven't won one yet, though, have you?
No, we've come close. So it's been a real tough match. We tried one year. We had 13 people on the field, but last minute of the game, but we couldn't score. But we're hoping for better luck tonight.
Well, I know you're trying to confuse them defensively. It's going to be tough to match up with the players who mark up because you don't have numbers on your guys.
We tried this year to pull a little sneak move, so we have tearaway jerseys and no numbers, so that should help out a lot.
And a little bit different type of coaching strategy for you. I know you asked to come up in the booth because you want to see what's happening. You're going to be with me. How the heck do you coach from up there?
Well, one of my captains, Brian Grohl, has a two-way radio in his Adidas shoes, so we're going to try and communicate that way.
Okay, do we have any side bets here with either one of you guys?
I'm not sure if the bet is still on from last week. That's well, I don't think we can say it. We're both teachers, so we'll just let it go at that.
This is an educational experience. No wagers allowed. Freehold Township versus Freehold Boro Alumni Soccer coming up next right here on TV 34. Stay with us. Back to the Freehold Alumni Cup right here at Freehold Township High School on TV 34. Tonight it's the Freehold Boro Alumni versus the alumni of Freehold Township High School. With me is Heshe Moses, the head coach at Freehold Boro High School, and we are underway. Freehold Township wearing the white home uniform and Freehold Boro in the visiting gold pinnies. A little unusual uniforms. Heshe, you got to work on the budget next year.
Little strategy here. I think you're going to see a really good game tonight. There's some excellent players out there.
Both teams certainly loaded with players. Freehold Boro with 19 or 20 guys here. I know the township well over 20, and that's going to be one of the jobs of the coaches to get all the substitutes into the match. And you're looking at head coach Bill DePep. He's as excitable as always. Hey, there's a smile out of Bill. You don't see that too often.
Richie Skorinsky, the kid taking the kick for the Freehold Boro team, the sweeper, was a consensus All-American junior college this year out of Keystone, Pennsylvania.
You know, we kid around a lot, but there's a lot of top quality talent out there. You can see it right there. A nice through ball. Good defense as the stopper and sweeper did a good job. This is Freehold Township on the attack. They're going to build it up slowly, try to keep the ball down. And a little contact, but no call.
Nice through ball to Scotty Preston.
And they'll play it back to the goalkeeper. Two guys refereeing tonight are Gene Tutzauer and Rich Mirren. Of course, Gene Tutzauer, the official on the far side of the field. Excuse me, you'll see him wearing the striped shirt. And Gene, a coach here at Freehold Township, and be our chance to see how he does officiating.
Brian Grohl bringing the ball.
Ball cleared upfield nicely by number 15. That was Mark Kriegel. And Craig Schnebel tries to play it through. Township almost broke through, but a nice tackle.
That was by Peter Hess. Played ball at West Virginia Wesleyan.
West Virginia Wesleyan, always a power in the NAIA ranks in national soccer. This is Steve Gibson. And Schnebel tried to get to it, but cleared away.
That's Scotty Preston, one of the, also another All-American from North Carolina Wesleyan.
I think one of the things you'll see, Hesh, excuse me, is the difference in experience these kids compared to the high school. A little more poise, and right there, beautiful
nice
ball through.
Nice through ball. Next to Billy Tully.
And Tully
Oh,
put
almost.
some pressure on, but just let it get too far away and just knocked out of bounds.
I'll tell you, one of the things that you can see right away is the midfielder for the Borough, Brian Grohl, plays for Loyola, Dynamite Soccer School in Maryland. He's also a track man. You can see when he takes his strides. Nice long strides, really hard to catch up to. It doesn't look like he's moving that fast, but he's really moving.
Well, here comes the first corner of the night. Freehold Boro floats it in. Schnabel heads it out. And you can hear some of the players communicating, calling for a 1-2, a little give and go. And it'll be interesting to see how quickly it takes the players to adjust to each other and see if they're able to work the ball around and come up with any goals tonight.
That's Stuart Schilling.
Most of the guys, actually, are very young out there. And in the booth with us right now is Bernie Goldwater, the athletic director of Freehold Township. Have to come over and congratulate Bernie. Congratulations on your big win the other night in the baseball ranks.
Thank you, Bob. It was quite an accomplishment of the young men in our program. They worked hard, and they went out and did one heck of a job.
Defeated
RBC 8-0. It was probably one of our, not the best performance during this entire season. They had a rank up there. It really was quite an accomplishment for them.
in a 20-win season. Is that true?
Yeah, 21-6.
Not a bad season at all. How do you do it every year, Bernie? Keep pumping them out, and you don't look any older.
I feel older. I'll tell you that much. I guess, you know, you get yourself a number of ball players who want to play the game. They're dedicated. And I guess it just worked out. They meshed. They did one heck of a job. I'm really very happy because at the beginning of the season, looking at what we had coming back, it didn't look like it could be this productive a season.
Oh, come on, all you guys. Fair at best, you cried at the beginning of the season. You knew you were loaded.
No, I had one starting pitcher and 4 seniors.
Okay,
And,
Bernie.
They did a job.
Don't mean to cut you off, but we got to
Let's get back to the
soccer.
game on hand with Heshy Moses. There we go.
And our director is in the truck, John Anderson. He said to make sure we send his best wishes. Congratulations. He said you did a great job.
Thank you, John, and I hope you get paid for your efforts, which probably no comment.
He loves that Bernie ball. Thanks, Bernie. Okay, well, we don't have a clock functioning right now, Heshy, so we don't know how much time is left in the first half. We do know that there is no score. This is the alumni soccer match between the graduates of Freehold Boro and the alumni of Freehold Township. The Township is wearing the home whites, the Boro in the gold pennies. And so far, the quality of play excellent. Neither team able to get into the scoring column. There's a little hold, pull on the shirt. I got to get on Tutzauer, the referee, because if he was coaching, he'd be screaming and begging for that one. There go a couple of guys down in the heap.
Matt Feldman, I'm not sure if the Township players. I think Matt's playing for University of Arkansas this year.
Well, no doubt about the quality of soccer in the area. The coaches from all over the country are at the shore area schools during soccer season. They want to recruit the kids in this area, and
no
you
doubt
certainly
about it.
had a great year this year at Freehold Boro, as you do every year, and your kids have gone on to a lot of good college soccer. And we saw Freehold Boro in the state tournament against Hopewell Valley, and there's no doubt about it. There's a lot of quality in Freehold. Got a pretty fair youth program in this town,
Yes,
also.
well,
Don't you?
you don't have good soccer programs in high school unless you have a good youth program. I don't think the people in the town get enough credit, especially in Freehold. You know, Freehold Township and Freehold Borough are good every year, and it's because of the people in the town.
And we'll be looking forward to the Freehold soccer tournament on the youth level next Monday night. Oh, there's a great shot. That's in the back of the net. And the Township breaks out to a 1-0 lead. And it's an unhappy Heshy Moses with me up in the box.
Yeah, I think that was a missed kick by Richie Skorensky and put in the back of the net by Kanzler. I think it's Mike Kanzler.
Well, I'll trust your judgment on it. I have a roster here with all kinds of names and numbers from Bill DePep. Number 5 scored it, and you know there's only one number that's not on here, and it's 5. Let's take a look at it.
I'm pretty sure it's Mike Kanzler.
Here it is again.
Yeah, we have the chip up, and you'll see the fullback misplays it right there. And Mike puts it right in the net.
Not an easy shot. The goalkeeper off the line, and Mike put it away right in that far corner, 1-0. Freehold Township
a little
leads it.
move.
And this is Freehold Boro. They're looking to
Good
equalize.
through ball.
Good
Nice
through
play by
ball.
the fullback.
Average age of the players pretty young, Heshy. I don't think we're going to have too much trouble with guys tiring out tonight.
No.
It's nice to have youth on your side. Of course, Davey Warner is a graduate of Freehold Boro High School.
Right, 1968.
Dave, the head boys basketball coach. And you're looking at number 21. That's Todd Zimmerman, recent graduate from Freehold Township. And a big favorite of ours. He's one of those guys who goes down, does the dirty work, and Todd's playing ball in college. Looks like he lost some weight. He's in good shape. Had to make sure I said that because I spoke to Todd's mother before the game. She said she had him on a diet. He lost 15 pounds in a couple of weeks. Nice move by number 14, John Duffy. This is Kanzler again, left-footed. Nice save.
Richie Schlentz, 2 years ago, was the goalie on the national championship Group 3 college team, North Carolina, Greensboro.
North Carolina, Greensboro, of course, Division III NCAA, and that team included Eddie Radwanski from
Right,
Neptune. Eddie
right.
has recently had a tremendous honor. He was named to the U.S. national team, participated in the Olympic qualifying match, or the World Cup qualifying matches, which the United States recently was eliminated, losing 1-0 to Costa Rica in what was considered to be an upset. And I know Eddie and his family are very proud of that accomplishment.
I think there's a younger Radwanski at Neptune still. Huh?
Yeah, so many Radwanskis. Michael Radwanski is a Neptune player. He was a sophomore this year, had a good year. Stevie Radwanski went through the program at Neptune. Something like the Duffy family over here in Freehold Township.
Right.
And you get a good look at the crowd on the far side of the field. These type events are put together for primarily let the players have some fun.
Right. Bring them back together. I think that one of the nicest things is that it just gets back together. Here we have a small little breakaway, played nicely by the fullback, back to the goalie.
And both programs trying to raise a little bit of money, but they're really not expecting to exactly run up big numbers tonight. But I understand your team at Freehold Boro has recently had a tremendous honor.
Yeah, we're really excited. We were invited to participate in the National Youth Soccer Tournament in Great Britain. We're the first American team ever invited to go over, and it's just a great honor. We're leaving in August, and we'll be participating. It's called the, it goes by two names, really. It goes by the Dumbarton Tournament and the National Youth Tournament. They take the 8 best teams from the United Kingdom, and they invite 2 teams from outside the country, and this year we're one of them, so we're really excited
Boy,
about
that is a great honor.
That's Dave Buck.
And the players starting to spread out a little more, Hesh. It looks like the legs are getting a little bit weary. Good tackle, Schnebel and Duffy.
And there's
Little
Brian.
mix-up. You'll be with us in the first half, and then we're going to bring John Scharf from the Freehold Township coaching staff up to help us the second half. We want to make sure that we give equal time to both schools. You'll go down, I'm sure, to give the halftime speech.
I think they need a little pep talk.
Any difference up here watching what's going on compared to when you're on the field trying to observe it?
Yeah, you know, I always get a kick out of watching soccer up above because I think you get a better perspective of the whole field. When you're down below, sometimes it gets really hard to see what's going on.
Nice move.
That was Mike Kanzler again.
Beautiful ball through, just cleared away. So Mike Kanzler playing well. Kanzler has the only goal of the match. Freehold Township leading it
Here we have
1-0.
a small little breakaway, but played out too wide.
Doug Kretzmer played it back. And flighted in. I think that's goalkeeper Tim Gooder, isn't it, Hesh? You remember Timmy?
I think so, yeah. That is Timmy Gooder.
Have to try to rely on the memory.
Sometimes I'd like to forget.
That's starting to fade.
You know, it's really funny. I watch some of these. They're men now. I watch them out here, and I remember all the games, you know, that Freehold Boro and Freehold Township played. There's a lot of really great rivalries in the Shore, but that's definitely one of them. The Boro and the Township against each other, considering they used to be the same school.
That's right. In all sports, the same rivalry exists. And seems to be a very healthy rivalry, though. Not too many problems. The guys are good friends. They play hard, and then it's all over. They forget about it. Dave Pellin.
Township definitely has the better of the play.
Well, that's what happens when you have numbers on your uniforms. You know? It makes you raise your level up one.
And now we have a little break. We got Scotty Preston, and they just don't seem to be passing the ball to each other. It just seems like they're just kicking the ball.
Well, I'm going to take it all down because I know at halftime you're going to have the comments to the players and see if you make any difference.
Okay. That's a nice ball.
This is the 4th time they've played the Alumni Cup game here at Freehold Township. 1982, it was a 1-1 tie. In 1983, Freehold Township defeated the Borough 2-1 with goals by Doug Kretzmer and Bill Alicio. And in 84, last year, it was a 2-1 victory by Freehold Township. Bill DePep remembered that John Butel scored a goal, and that's about all he remembered.
There we have Brian Grohl again. You can tell that he's a track man. Brian just never seems to get tired. Nice steal. Looking for the ball on the wing.
No, you have to reverse that. The track coaches say you can tell he's a soccer player.
I don't know. The coach in college is really happy to know that he ran track also.
Hey, Gene Tutzauer made a call over there, offsides. There's Todd Zimmerman. Same old Todd. I'm sure the uniform's filthy already. Didn't like the call.
Todd is definitely a hard player. I like the way he plays. He plays all out all the time.
Always looking for the edge. He was the guy called for offsides. And there's the free kick.
Right there in the middle, we got a little through ball. Offsides, I think.
And it was an offside called. Must be a different rule. There were 3 Freehold Township defenders back where they belong.
I don't know. I don't want to say anything up in the booth here.
Well, you coaches, I know you're always so charitable to officials, except when you're actually on the sidelines. There's Gene Tutzauer. Boy, he's in trouble. Anytime you get a ref with a silver whistle, you know you're in trouble, and he's got it. I'm going to let him have it later on.
Gene, you notice, always has the whistle in his mouth. He's always constantly ready to make a call.
You're right. He's made one so far tonight. This is Freehold Township. They're trying to move the ball upfield. It was taken away. Steve Gibson
here we got
had
a breakaway.
away.
Jimmy Coleman.
And again, gets the rebound. He's going to try
he
to
waited
crank
too long.
it. Nice defensive play.
Yeah, he waited a little bit too long to take the shot.
Mark Kriegel was beaten, came back, and made the play. Heads up.
Cross. And we have Brian Grohl with a shot.
Good shot, and Gooder right there. Gooder looked like he's been playing some ball. Good form. Freehold Township leads it 1-0 over the Borough in this Alumni Cup game. Mike Kanzler of Freehold Township scoring the only
We got
goal.
a ball off the wing to Tully. Nice turn and move. And a
Plays
cross
it
right
across.
there. Oh, a nice header. Nice header headed by Stuart Schilling. An assist from Billy Tully from the wing.
Stu Schilling that was, huh?
Right, Stu Schilling from North Carolina Wesleyan.
Nice goal.
No, I'm sorry, North Carolina High Point. Stewart was a one-time high school all-shore first team and all-state.
So that knots it up 1-1. Let's take another look at it.
You know, look, I think you'll see Billy Tully with the ball now. You'll see him. He'll make a little. He gets the ball right now, and he makes a turn-in move right there. He's natural left-footed. He kicks with his right foot, and there's Stewart right in the corner.
Schilling completely unmarked, wide open. Knots it up 1-1. Still in the first half. The clock is not working, so we really don't know how much time is left. Borough player stole that throw in as he signaled which way it was to help the referee out.
I think Jimmy Coleman's been watching Wall play a lot. I don't know.
Oh, don't start any controversies up here now. I don't want to hear that.
I'm already teasing. I think every player on every high school team always does that. They put their hand up for the ball. And
I think it's a great move by players.
Oh, no, it's a smart move.
Pick the ball up and act like you know who it belongs to. Oh, that was an offside as the ball was played laterally, 60 yards away from the net. Doing the refereeing is Rich Mirren.
Have another breakaway. And, almost a misplay. Oh, and I think we're going to have another shot here.
And just mishit. Gooder had it covered. Of course, you talked about Wall a moment ago, Coach Tom Farley.
Yeah, I think Tom's going to get me back sometime during the season for that one.
Only kidding, Coach. There's a breakaway down the right side. Good sliding tackle.
Right,
Number 19 was Todd Zimmerman.
And Matt Fellman.
No, it wasn't Todd Zimmerman. We have 2 number 19s, I believe.
See, I told you Freehold Township is pulling a maneuver here.
Todd Zimmerman is 21. Built the pep right in the roster up. I'm going to make him take the heat and the blame for this. Come on, who stole my pen, Heshy?
I think the pen is. We got Richard Slentz, the goalie for the Borough, starting goalie at University of North Carolina, Greensboro.
Richie Schlintz, if his ankle's hurt, does he have Schlintz splints?
I think so. Well, they're Schlentz brothers. I know that. I'm not sure about Schlentz splints. Here we have another little build-up here. And we have the ball taken back by the Township. A nice cross.
Long ball played opposite post, and Schlintz up there makes a save.
Thrown out to Dave Buck, and stolen nicely by the Township. A nice breakaway here down the left wing.
Try to play it back.
Oh!
And it just knocked
Very
away.
Close, very close. I think we have a corner kick.
It was Steve Gibson down the left side. Cut the ball back effectively, but Freehold Boro managed to stop things up.
There we have a picture of Stu Schillen, the man who scored the goal.
And here comes a corner. Hard drive, but nobody there. Goalkeeper Rich Schlintz with good hands.
And that's the quarter, I think.
So that is the end of the first quarter. The score tied 1-1 between Freehold Township and Freehold Boro in this Alumni Cup soccer game here at Freehold Township High School. The Township goal scored by Mike Kanzler as they took a 1-0 lead, and then Stu Schilling tied it up for Freehold Boro. So that's the story. The Borough won, the Township won. Stay with us. We'll be back just about ready to get underway. Into the match, that's Dave Warner, class of '67. And we have a new goalkeeper in the game for Freehold Boro, Paul Newhauser. He'll get tested in a few minutes, I'm sure. And we have somebody at our field mic. I thought there was an infant, but it's about a 4-year-old. And also a new goalkeeper in for Freehold Township. There's Dave Warner. He looks younger than the rest of the guys out there. Dave, the head soccer coach of the Freehold Township boys basketball team. And I believe he's the JV girls coach also. Dave with a good throw.
New left wing for the Borough, Bobby Schlentz, Richie's brother, went to University of Indiana in Pennsylvania. It must be a tough place to go.
Well, that state school league is a tough competitive league. East Stroudsburg and Kutztown, a couple of the other schools. So there's some good soccer in Pennsylvania.
Also in the game, you have Paul Zuber from Notre Dame. So we have a little Big Ten action.
Any relation to Walt Zuber?
I think so, yes. I think it's his son.
Of course, Walt Zuber, assistant superintendent in the Freehold Regional School District and one of the top Shore area basketball officials.
We also have another brother in the game right there challenging. That's Peter Grohl, Brian's brother.
Play the ball up the wing and just knocked out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for Freehold Boro. They stole another one.
That's Matt Fellman throwing the ball in.
That looks like he's put on a few pounds since he played in high school.
I think he's put on a, he just played for Arkansas. I think there must have been a break here.
And headed down nicely out to the wing. Retrieving. Picked that one up was Doug Patmore.
Go by Davey Warner.
Tell us a little more about the trip, Heshy. You'll be going to Scotland in August.
Right, we'll be leaving August the 2nd, and we'll be staying for approximately 12 days. We're playing 3 exhibition games, one in Linlithgow, which is a town a little bit north of Glasgow. We'll be staying at the college right outside of Glasgow, and and we'll be playing 3 games in the towns in there in Dunbarton and then in Glasgow itself. And then we'll be playing in the tournament, and then we'll be traveling around Scotland playing in about 3 or 4 other games. So the boys will be playing actually about 9 or 10 games in 12 days. That's a lot of games.
Now, what team actually is going? Your next year's Freehold Boro team, or the team you had this year?
No, the team I had this year. Everyone, even including the people who are graduating.
Graduating kids and underclass.
Right. Everyone has helped raise the money, so and everyone has played for me and put out for me. So I'm taking everyone, including 5 JV players who have helped us raise money.
No problem with the state in terms of getting clearance or anything?
No, because we're not going as the high school team. We're going as a club team, and it's not really my next year's team because I have, seniors.
And of course, the state, the summertime's considered open season. You can do just about anything you want anymore, as long as you don't officially represent your school.
Right. And like I said, we're going as a Freehold Boro soccer club. I'd also like to say, if I can, that if there's anyone interested in making a tax-deductible donation, they can make it to the Freehold Boro Soccer Club, Post Office Box 1238, Freehold, New Jersey 07728. We're about $1,000 short of our goal, and we've raised about $24,500 so far, which is incredible in this.
$24,500? How much money do you need to go over there?
Well, we're taking 25, 26 boys, and we're paying. It's not like you're going to London where the price of a ticket is really cheap. We're flying into Scotland, and we have a breakaway here.
There's a breakaway, right? And that's a great
score.
goal.
And a score. The score, I think it was Paul Zuber, if I'm not mistaken. I'm having a hard time seeing that far away. Yes, it was Paul Zuber from Notre Dame.
So Freehold Boro takes a 2-1 lead on the strength of the goal by Paul Zuber.
You see Davey Warner right there in the thick of things, smiling.
Yeah, he's going to try to get credit for an assist. Say, mark me down, fellas. And he's trying to.
Okay, here's a replay. Paul's breakaway, and right there he just tucked it into the corner. I think sometimes you can tell the advancement of some of the older players, Bob. They don't try and kill it into the net. They just put it where it has to be.
I think that's the difference, the experience level that the boys have shown in high school. I think a lot of guys would try to bury that one. The kids right now, you can see they've grown up. They're physically bigger than they were in high school, and just a little more experience and that much more skilled.
I think we have a corner kick there.
And that one was blocked by Feldman. There's the score, 2-1. Freehold Boro leading Freehold Township. We're in the second quarter. We're playing 4 20-minute periods. And Heshy, you're going over to Scotland in August. Rumor has it that the only way they'll allow an American team in is if the coach wears a kilt on the sideline.
Well, my wife has 45 relatives in Dundee, and they've guaranteed me the right clothing for the tournament, so I'm not sure exactly what I'm wearing.
Around midfield, both teams showing good individual skill, having some problems reading each other's moves off of the ball.
That's Bobby Schlentz, Richie's brother. Nice left foot.
Far post. Oh, great save.
That was a beautiful save. Beautiful save. Point blank header.
Good save by the goalkeeper, whomever he may be.
I wish we knew his name. It was an excellent save. There's Paul Zuber, the man who scored the last goal by the Borough.
And in the background, goalkeeper Gene Tutzauer. Actually, he's the referee. He's not the goalkeeper.
I think maybe during the season I'd like to be up in the booth more often.
You got it.
Another breakaway. Oh, taken down nicely by a Freehold Township man. An excellent defensive move there.
You like that one, huh? Take him down.
Even though it was against my player, it was a nice move. He had a breakaway.
Tom
And it was
Farley, that'll be his chance to
outside
get
the
even
box.
with you.
And there's a direct kick, and just over the far post.
Taking it with the outside of the right foot, tried to bend it around the wall, but it went over the top. So the score remains 2-1. Freehold Boro leading Freehold Township.
I think you can see the evolvement of the dews from the shore area, Bob, if you take a look. Yes, the hairdos,
Oh, okay.
The hairdos, the tails are coming now back into style.
The tails, they're my favorite.
Nice play by
I like
Brian.
them almost as much as we used to like the shaved heads of the wall players with 4s and 5s shaved in the top of their head.
We have Davey Warner. Excellent pursuit by Dave.
Dave out there in his white AstroTurf shoes. The shorts just a little bit tight.
I think Dave knows the secret of those white spikes. They make him look a lot faster.
There he is right
There's a
there.
close-up of Dave.
He's observing. Come on, hustle, Dave. That's it. He looked and see how he cleared out, gave some space to his teammate.
And that's Peter Grohl, Brian's brother. Nice move. Oh, no.
That's a good ball. He was
breakaway.
onside.
Nice play by the goalie. Come out. You know, Bob, as you were saying before, coaches come from all over the country to see shore soccer. I think it's probably one of the better areas for soccer in the country. And we have another breakaway and another goal.
Tremendous shot right there.
And that was by Bobby Schlens, Richie's brother, who went to Indiana University in Pennsylvania.
I'd like to see that one again. I thought that Bobby might have been a step or two offsides on that
I think it was a classic camouflage move by Bob that they taught him in college, that he looked like he was a little bit offsides and then moved quickly before Gene could put his lips on the whistle.
Gene Tutzauer, the referee on the far side of the field. We'll have to talk to him about that one and get his interpretation of it. See if if anybody buys it, because I know when he asks me when I'm refereeing for interpretations, he doesn't believe me. Let's take a look at it.
Take a look, and there's Bobby, and he is even off. I think even's
off.
I think Gene blew a call there. I mean, I am the coach of the Freehold Boro team, but well, I don't want to say Gene's a coach too, so I think it was an interpretation call there. And here we have another ball to the outside.
Remember that. If I get any of your games next year, I'm going to say that when you yell at me. Coach, that was an interpretation call. You have to get off my back.
Okay, I'll remember.
So early in the match, it was all Freehold Township, and Township has had the better part of the play in the midfield, but it's the Borough with 3 goals. They lead it 3-1 on goals by Schilling, Zuber, and Schlintz.
That's another new player for the Borough. That's Jimmy Higley. I think he's the second oldest player out there, graduated in 1975 with the hairband on, out there playing the right fullback spot. We have a substitute for the Borough.
And, excuse me, Hesh, there's your opponent tonight, head coach Bill DePep of Freehold Township. He was smiling before the game, but I think he's hot right now. He wants to win this one. This might start a trend in coaching. Get the head coach off of the sideline, let the kids play.
I'm excited about this. I'm going to bring a crane to my first game, I think.
Well, there's Dave. Look at the intensity. Come on, Dave.
You notice the way Dave puckered his lips there. That was...
He's been in there quite a while, too. Oh, good sliding tackle.
Bobby still has the ball.
Cuts it back. A little contact in the 18. Gene put the whistle away again. Play on. Ooh. The old knee trap.
Brian Grohl with the ball. Passing to his brother Peter. I haven't seen that in years.
Yeah, sometimes that's not easy. As you get older, that sibling rivalry kind of eases up a little. I like that sibling rivalry.
That was excellent. I teach psychology. That's very good for your boy.
Okay. I took one of those courses once. That's right. Believe it or not, I'm certified by the state of New Jersey to teach English, Shakespeare, drama.
All right. Well, Bob, you want to come over with me to Scotland? We could go to,
Sure, you have to raise $28,000. Yeah, is there any pub expenses for you when you go over
pub
there?
expenses for the borough. I'm not really quite sure about that.
The clock is not working, hasn't worked the entire half, and one of the fans just came up to tell us, hey, the clock's not working.
was really
so
nice
you can
of
tell that the fans are really right on
Into the
top
game.
of things.
Into the game, Bob. Talking about Bob, there's Bobby Schlintz, the Borough.
Yeah, there might be. I'm certain your club wouldn't mind if you brought an extra assistant along with you.
I think we've had about 2,000 applications for that post. But you know, you have a Shakespeare background, so that might give you.
No,
an
I
edge.
didn't say I had a Shakespeare background. I said the state of New Jersey says I'm allowed to teach it.
Oh, I'd see. We have another new player in for the Borough. There's another new player in for the Borough, Mark Wodell. Played fullback for us last year. Nice build-up by the Borough there.
Borough leading at 3-1, looking for goal number 4. They have a throw-in on the far side of the field. Once again, we're at Freehold Township High School. Bob Lampinen and Coach Heshy Moses of the Freehold Boro Colonials is with me.
And we have a corner kick.
This is the Alumni Cup game between the graduates of the Borough and the Township. It's a enjoyable, fun match. There's a dangerous corner, but goalkeeper right there. And we were here a couple of years ago to cover it. I was with Bobby Hogan. We had a ball. Same type of a situation. You coaches don't know who's going to be here until game time, so we have rosters without numbers and incorrect numbers. And
Well, that's part of the fun of it, Bob.
fun of it for you, maybe. Now, we have a good time, and the kids certainly go out and play hard. They're not playing the match like it's just an alumni exhibition. I'll tell you, some of these kids are playing for real.
Yeah, well, athletes are athletes. You know, you put them in a game situation, and they play. They want to win. And that was a nice save by Paul Nyhauser, the new goalie for the Borough.
Paul started the second quarter. Really hasn't been tested so far. And the Township
nice,
almost through.
Almost. Nice through ball. That was real nice.
Oh, everybody's yelling now out there, raising their hands. They want the whistle to blow. Some contact right there.
I think that was Davey Warner. That was an excellent play by Dave.
Township now, they try to keep it a cut back.
Oh, that was a nice play.
This could be trouble. Nice save.
Save.
Paul
Nyhauser had to go to his knees to come up with it, but stayed with it.
Township is taking over the play here.
And they may be taking over the play, but not the score. The Borough leads at 3-1. Stu Schilling, Paul Zuber, and Bobby Schlintz scoring for Freehold Boro. Mike Kanzler for Freehold Township. Township took a 1-0 lead, and the Borough has scored 3 in a row. I don't think we've seen the end of the scoring by a long shot.
Oh,
though.
no. No, there's too many good players out there for that. Here's another through ball to Stuart Schilling. Oh, a nice dummy move.
Ooh, some contact there. Come on, Gene, blow the whistle.
Oh, geez, having a hard time with the whistle tonight.
I'm loving this. I love it when you see a coach out there. Davey Warner. Ooh.
Dave taken down nicely with a hip check.
He's smiling now. Wait till he wakes up in the morning. He's not used to this stuff.
I think Dave graduated in 1968, so it's been a while.
That's right. We look on your roster, 68 for Warner, so yeah, he's still a young guy, 35.
Oh, right there. Oh, nice save by Paul Nyhauser.
Nyhauser had the angle cut down. Built a pep. Happy guy tonight. He
know,
doesn't look as happy as he did in the beginning of the match.
As a coach, I've never seen this, Bob, so tell me, does Bill smile that much during the regular season?
It's tough enough for Bill to speak sometimes. He's a pretty quiet guy, and he's a man of few words. He's not out there laughing, no. But I'll tell you, he's put together some awful good teams.
Every year, Bill has excellent teams, every year.
You talk to his players, they certainly hold him in high respect. He's a gentleman and one of the real nice, popular guys in soccer around here.
No doubt about that. Every year, Bill has an excellent team.
It was, correct me if I'm wrong, 2 years. There's Dave Warner as he hustles off the field. either 2 or 3 years ago, the Shore Officials Association honored Dave. They named him their Coach of the Year. Coach Jack Cunert just shook Dave's hand as Dave collapses on the bench. The tough thing for Dave now will be when he tries to go back in the game.
Right.
To
I think
get
the
legs going
muscles
again.
tend to tighten up a little bit.
John Gallagher tried to clear it away, but didn't hit it well. Here comes the Boro on the attack.
Dave Buck, and there's a ball. Oh.
Good control. We are in the second quarter. The clock is not functioning, so we really don't know how much time is left in these two 20-minute quarters. This is the second quarter. One of these years, I'm going to remember to bring a watch so that we can at least unofficially keep it.
And we have a nice build-up to Brian Grohl.
Good control. Nice ball through. The goalkeeper's off the line. Open net, shot scored. Another goal.
Bobby Schlentz, another score.
So Bobby Schlentz with his second goal of the match.
An assist from Brian Grohl.
And Freehold Boro is making a laugh for this when they lead it 4-1. Pressure's on Bill DePep at halftime to reach into his bag of tricks and motivate his team to come back.
I think you might take a look since I won't be up here in a second.
Here it is again, Hesh.
Yeah, there's Brian Grohl. And then the ball's back. He steps over the ball. Bobby takes his time and puts it in the back of the net.
Goalkeeper just slipped right before the shot was taken.
Yeah. As I was saying, I think since I won't be up here in the second half, Bob, I want you to look for this. I think Bill might employ the trick that I tried last year when we were losing in the last minute, and that is the old football 12 or 13 men on a field
Just
trick.
throw them all out there at once, try to get away with it. Heshe, you're ahead by the score of 4-1 at this point. Should the Township come back after you go down to the sideline for the second half and Freehold Boro happen to lose this match, I think that tells us a little bit about...
I think that's an excellent point on your part, and being a poker man myself, I think I'll sit in the stands.
And if you're going to go down to the stands, stay right here with us. We're having a good time with you. And if you do lose it, I'm going to start a little letter campaign. You're not going to Scotland. I'm going in your place.
I think that's halftime.
Well, that about does it for the first half here at Freehold Township High School. The Boro leads it by the score of 4-1. Mike Kanzler scored for Freehold Township to open it up. And then it was Stu Schilling, Paul Zuber, and Bobby Schlentz with 2 in a row to give the Boro the 4-1 lead. I've been talking to the head coach of the Freehold Boro Colonials, Heshe Moses, in this first half. Heshe, seriously, thanks for being with us, and all the best. Have a great trip to Scotland. I know you'll have a good year next season.
Well, thank you very much, Bob. Thanks for having us.
Okay, well, that about does it. Halftime. Stay with us. We'll be back with more right here on TV 34 right after this.
Parker, just looking over your work. You know, I usually don't go with freelancers I don't know, and I never heard of you, but I was in a bind, so I thought I'd give you a shot. Wow, these are really fantastic. How'd you like to sign up full-time?
You took a chance on me, I'll take one on you.
Everybody deserves a chance to make it on their own, and there are things you can do to help. Write National Urban League.
Welcome back to Freehold Township High School for the second half of the Freehold Alumni Cup soccer match. Halftime score, Freehold Township trailing at 4-1 to the Boro. Heshe Moses has returned to the sideline, and with me right now is John Sharp, assistant coach here at Freehold Township. And John, how'd you enjoy the first half?
Well, I was over there selling tickets. I really didn't get to see too much.
Well, you are a jack of all trades, they say, and you're also the, I believe it's the varsity girls softball coach here.
Yes, that's correct.
What kind of season?
We had a 500 season. We did pretty well. I'm pretty pleased with it.
Okay, second half underway. As we said, it's 4-1. The Boro leads it. Also up here to help spot some of the Freehold Boro players for us, since they do not have numbers. There's some trouble in front. Also with us is Jack Cunert, the head basketball coach at Freehold Boro. And Jack, how you doing?
Very good, Bobby. How you doing?
Not too bad. We're having a enjoyable night. Heshy came up here, and we found out how important he is on the sidelines. When he's not there, they score 4 goals to lead it 4-1.
We have a little bit of a bet now. He's trying to outdo me. It was 4-1 when I came up here. Now, if it doesn't get duplicated in the second half, I become head coach and he becomes assistant.
How about up in basketball? You ready to trade with him?
No.
Not with the kids you have.
Not with the kids I have coming back. No.
You guys had a tremendous season. How did you finish up?
We finished, I think it was 15-6.
15-6.
But we have 8 out of 10 kids back.
You got
so
to
we really anticipate that we'll be very good.
Was it sectional semis?
We got to the sectional semis, lost to Asbury by 4, had them by 8 points at halftime, and managed to to blow the lead. But I really anticipate a great season.
So you're putting the pressure on yourself already.
Yeah, but the kids are tough. I didn't think we'd do as well last year as we did, and they thought we would. They did it. So now I will put the pressure on us.
Okay.
And John Sharp just talked. He had a very good softball season. Did an excellent job. I happen to know. I was at a lot of games.
Well, it's always a pleasure to come up to the Freehold area. All the coaches are very cooperative, and something about the guys up here. You all seem to have your heads on straight and have it in the right perspective.
Well, that's nice. Thanks we appreciate you coming, and we appreciate the coverage and all the sports you've done. It's fantastic.
Well, after you watch this one, I don't know if you'll appreciate what we're doing tonight, but we're having a good time, that's for sure. It's 4-1, and Freehold Boro leads it. The township has had some good opportunities, unable to capitalize on them. And John Sharp is with us. He's going to help us with Freehold Township. And, of course, Jack Cunard will help us out with the Borough. So it's a 3-man crew. There's a nice ball across. What a goal right there. Textbook goal scored by number 5 of Freehold Township. John Sharp was up here trying to find the number.
Trying to help you here.
And I don't see a 5 on my roster. And we believe that was Mike Kanzler scored the first goal also. So Kanzler makes it 4-2. And Heshy Moses already in trouble. Let's take another look at it, John. And they play it down the left side. And here comes the goal. Looks like Duffy cuts it back.
Yeah, Michael's used to scoring a lot of goals. He did a lot of that here at the township. Played on that state championship team, 1980, I believe.
A couple of years ago, that was the one when they played Kearney, wasn't it?
Yeah, they tied in the Group 4 finals.
Coach Chance Group 4 finals at Princeton. We were there, and that was one of the best high school games I've seen in many, many years. And they just fight for control midfield. And we'll see if the legs start to get a little heavier here in the second half. We're playing 4 20-minute quarters. We're in the third one. Early in the third quarter, the clock is not working. So the time being kept down on the field by Gene Tutzauer and referee Rich Mirren. And a long shot taken. Goalkeeper Timmy Gooder handled that one easily. The shot was taken by Ted Burke from Brookdale. Teddy, a graduate of Freehold Boro in 1983, so one of the younger guys out there. Freehold Boro's graduates range from 1968 all the way up to 1984. And Jack, your buddy Dave Warner, handled himself pretty well out there.
I think he did a great job. I had to remind him that he's a father now. He has two young ladies and has to be very careful. You know, your responsibilities go with that. No, he did a fine job, and he lasted the whole 20 minutes or close to it. So we're very proud of Dave.
He went out there at one time, got taken down, got up with a smile on his face.
We gave him a 3.4 for his flip. Degree of difficulty. He's out there, and he has his 1968 Freehold Boro soccer jacket, too. He brought it with him.
I
A
think
little tight fit.
He wanted to prove to everybody that he really did play.
Hey, Bob, I was a little surprised that the township fell to 4-1. Most of the township guys are all recent graduates here. I thought their young legs had come through, but maybe we'll see in the second half.
I think the tough preseason training camp that Jack Cunard ran for this game put the guys through their paces last night, had them out, and they're in shape now. They probably ran at least 30 seconds, and after the match tonight, I think, Jack, that's where their real workout's going to be. Substitution, there's a little delay. Freehold Boro has put together quite an impressive squad. I mentioned Dave Warner. And Brian Grohl has just gone in. Brian Grohl, an 83 graduate, played for Loyola, which is one of the top soccer schools in the country. And we mentioned Richie Schlentz from North Carolina Greensboro. They were national champs Division III last year. So we've said it many times tonight, there's a lot of individual talent out there. Nice ball into the 18. And cleared away. Tim Guter was ready to make the save, but just knocked out. This is Todd Zimmerman, keeps control. You can see his good strength. Left foot drive, a little too long into the 18. And the goalkeeper for Freehold Boro, Richie Schlentz, played the first quarter, is back into the match. So the original goalkeeper's in. Guter for the Township and Schlentz for the Borough. And some of the players screamed for a push, but neither official that time going to be faked. There's Gene Tutzauer. Gene's done quite a job tonight, John. We saw him make 2 calls in the first half.
But, you know, if I could have saw the first half, I'd have... What can I tell you? I wasn't here.
John was out in the parking lot selling tickets.
Dirty job. Somebody's got to do it over there.
Little heel pass. Oh, nice pass to Duffy. Duffy has it taken away. Bobby Schlentz fights for it.
John Duffy still hasn't lost anything that I can see from his days here at the Township.
Duffy, always a controlled player in the midfield, uses his body very effectively. He's a good distributor of the ball. There he is right there, John Duffy, number 14, that familiar redhead. And that shot given away. That'll be a goal kick for the Township. And there's Duffy, number 14. Looks like John's put a little weight on, though. Maybe it's the result of the weights, just to bulk up, because he's not the biggest kid around.
No, he's not, but it's very tough to take the ball from John. Even though he's small, he played that midfield very well.
There's a mistake by the defense, but they come back to try to cover it up. Billy Tully and Guter right there off the line. Borough leading at 4-2. Mike Kansler scoring both goals for Freehold Township. Scoring for the Borough, Stu Schilling, Paul Zuber, and Bobby Schlentz with 2. Duffy, plenty of room in the midfield. Good pass. Nice ball. Good build-up by the Patriots. They try to cut it back, and a weak cross knocked away. Here comes the Borough.
I think the Township's controlled play so far in the second half.
No, they pretty much controlled the play in the first half the same way, John, and unfortunately for the Township, they weren't able to do too much with it other than to score the 1 goal. On the other hand, the Borough didn't get too many offensive attacks, but once they got the ball inside the 18, they made good use of it. And there he is, Heshy Moses, and the pressure's on Heshy. Jack Cunert coached in the first half, and his team led it 4-1. Heshy's gone down to the sideline, Jack, and he wasn't there more than 2 minutes, and already he's given up a goal.
Well, Heshy's always said he's an offensive coach. He says he's very offensive to a lot of people. I just think
he's very offensive?
Not I. No, I would never say anything like that. No, Heshy's a heck of a guy, and it's fun to coach with him. And this group of kids, just a lot of fun. They've always been. We have some real good soccer players out there, and watching them from up here, I think you see real good soccer.
Yeah, in all seriousness, there is tremendous talent out there. You're seeing good individual talent all over the field, and as opposed to a high school match, the ball's been up in the air 2 or 3 times, and that's about it. The entire night it's been down on the ground. And here's a good attack and another goal. So a great build-up, and now it's the
I think that was Todd
Township's turn.
Zimmerman. Todd Zimmerman.
So Todd Zimmerman scores. There he is, number 21. And the assist was by Mike Hansler. So Zimmerman tightens it up. It's now 4-3. And Heshy Moses, I'm sure, will be looking to come back up here in just a minute. There's Todd.
Todd's another Township player that's used to scoring quite a bit of goals here.
Well, we've talked about Todd before. We saw him play soccer and basketball for the last couple of years, and he's always worked real hard. Let's take a look at that goal right here. That was Meinster, played it inside. And they run it down.
Mike Hansler coming down.
And Zimmerman, where he always is, right in front where the action is. Ball was cut back very effectively. Zimmerman wide open and confidently just tapped it in the back of the net to make it 4-3. So Freehold Boro leads it only by 1. They led it by 3 starting the second half. And the Township is going to make a game of it. And now that it's 4-3, I'm sure we're going to see the intensity pick up a little bit because neither team wants to lose this when there's bragging rights on the line. And so far in the 3 years of the Alumni Cup, Freehold Boro has been shut out. Oh, good shot. What a save. Richie Schlintz.
That's Mike Hansler shooting that ball off the right side there.
Jack, Richie Schlintz showing some great hands.
Richie Schlintz played for the North Carolina Greensboro, and last year he was, I think it was last soccer season, they were national champs in Division II. He had great 4 years as goalie for Freehold Boro, and he's just continued that, and that's typical of the saves he used to make for us. And again, just to remark on the team in front of Richie out there is Rich Skorinsky, who was an All-American in junior college. Talking about trying out, now that he's out of junior college, trying out for a football spot with the Generals or somebody, kick field goals. So, and Brian Grohl plays, I think he plays sweeper now for Loyola or Baltimore. So we have some good players out there, as does the Township. This is very typical of a Freehold Boro, Freehold Township game. They're very rarely blowouts, always close, always closely fought, always hard fought, but at the end of the games, a lot of nice handshakes, and we'll see you next time.
Well, the series has really developed into something that the players look forward to coming back to. We've got over 20 players for each team, and there really wasn't a whole lot of notice given in terms of contacting players and so forth. I guess it's through word of mouth more than anything. The players hear about it. They want to be here.
Bobby, and again, there was a little advertisement on your channel, I believe, and also on one of the local channels here. And the kids come around. They look for it. They know it's around this time of the year, and they want to know about it. Another remark, Stu Schilling, I didn't realize this, but he had a serious leg injury down in college, and this is the first he's played since February. So he was a little winded in the early going, but he seems to be rounding into shape.
Good shot of Rich Schlintz as he punts it. I hope Stu takes it easy out
That's
there.
Stu out there now.
No sense picking up an injury.
He doesn't know how to do that, though. I don't know. Most of these guys don't know how to take it easy. That's Pete Hess coming down.
Nice ball through. The Township defense retreating right to the 18, and now they're going to look to counterattack.
Brian Grohl coming after Todd Zimmerman.
Good man-to-man marking.
That Todd Zimmerman, his goal was typical of the way he plays all sports. He's always around the net. We had a lot of tough games with him in basketball, I'll tell you that. He's a neighbor of mine. Like him a lot, except when we used to play each other.
Well, we used to watch Todd play basketball, and I was amazed at his size. He was playing forward position, and they'd post him up, down, low, and somehow he'd be able to take on the big guys.
Tough as nails, and that's the way he plays. He's the only kid I ever know got dirty playing basketball. And that's just the way he plays. He's a hard-nosed player. Another thing, Bobby, and I think Heshy probably remarked on it, a lot of these kids play together or have played together on different traveling teams and the New Jersey Americans and things like that. So not only have they played against each other, they've also been teammates in a lot of different games, state cups and such.
Well, speaking of teammates, go back a couple of years when you were coaching at Power Memorial. You coached a young kid at the time. His name was Lou Alcindor, of course, Kareem Jabbar, and he's now an elder statesman in the NBA, playing in the playoffs, and he's still doing pretty well, isn't he?
Sure is. I'm really, It's funny, he's 38 years old, so that has to remark on how old I am, but it's just great to see him play with the intensity he is. He really wants it, and everybody that knows him knows what kind of man he is. I think, unfortunately, sometimes he's much maligned, but I always say to people he's a lot like the part he played in Airplane. That's the kind of man he is when you get to know him. He's just a funny person and a very intelligent person and a great guy.
He was a co-pilot in Airplane,
Yes,
right?
yes, he was.
Roger.
We got up to see him in the Meadowlands, and after the game, we were fortunate enough to get down in the locker room. And just to give you an idea of what he's like, one of the people, because the pro locker room is a zoo, people running around and crazy. And one of the kids said to him, Kareem, is it always like this? And he thought for a minute, he says, every place but in Cleveland. He says, there's nobody in Cleveland.
Well, of course, Kareem, in his autobiography, had some really nice things to say about you when you were coaching him at Power Memorial, so I'm sure he was glad to see you over at the Meadowlands.
Oh, yeah, it was great. And he did say some nice things, and we were very close. My first year teaching, he was in my freshman homeroom, so you build some kinds of friendships that way. And I guess we were pretty close through high school because he always looked for somebody to talk to. Had a lot of notoriety, and that's tough when you're 14 years old and 15 years old and such.
You only made one mistake with him. You weren't his agent.
You got that.
Well, he's doing...
I tell you, you know, I had great experiences at Power and great experiences here at Freehold, but there's another young guy I'm equally proud of. It's a guy named Lenny Elmore, played with the Knicks and the Nets and a few other teams, but he's now in Harvard Law School. And that's what it's all about. I think we'll all agree as teachers, that's what you're looking for.
Well, we've spoken with Lenny a couple times on TV 34, and I'll tell you what a gentleman he is. He's a pleasure. He went out of his way. He was so nice to us, and I'm sure part of that was because we dropped your name on him.
Oh, well, you know, he's just a great person, and I think that's what sports in high school are all about. You meet people, that the kids play the sports, but they're also gentlemen, they're also scholars, they're just good people, and I think people have to realize that.
Well, the fellas right out there certainly have learned their lessons well from the coaches in the Freehold Regional District. Jack Cunert was one of them. Of course, John Scharf with me. You're looking at Craig Schnebel, just graduated recently from the township, one of their finest players.
This is Jimmy Coleman, who's now playing down at Winthrop College in North Carolina. Seems we send a lot of players down to North Carolina from both schools.
Nice state. Winter's a little bit easier to take. What a shot there, just curves wide.
That was Dave Buck, I believe. All the numbers on our jerseys are invisible. When we sent them out, they put invisible numbers on there.
Well, John, we spoke to Bill DePep before the match, and we both agreed that Heshy Moses had come up with a new type of defense to try to confuse the defense. Pretty tough to mark the guy if you don't know him and you don't know his number.
Well, I'll tell you, seems that way, but the Township's responded. Must be breaking down this strategy of Heshy's, and
that's right. Well, Bill had him at halftime, and we all know that Coach DePep's not going to tolerate a 4-1 deficit at halftime.
Well, I think Bill felt that maybe he's getting out coached and did a little talking to himself.
Probably was. Jack Cunert was down there coaching.
See, I think the Borough has an advantage in that Warner's passing on our practice secrets.
Yeah, that might be. Of course, it's your home field, though.
Well, when these two teams get together, I don't think there is a home field advantage. These guys, they must know each other and play from when time they're little, down the little leagues.
That's right. We mentioned earlier we'll be covering the Little League action next week, the Freehold Youth Soccer Tournament. That'll be on next Monday night. And that's really where it all starts. And if you don't have that strong youth program, I don't care who you are, as a high school coach nowadays, you're not going to be able to compete. You have to have that good youth program.
I think that's true in just about any sport. Soccer, it's certainly true in Freehold Township. That's one of the reasons year after year I think we can be so competitive.
Well, Gene Tutzauer just blew his whistle for the third time tonight, that time to end the third quarter. And it's been a good quarter for Freehold Township, and not such a good one for that man, Heshy Moses, the coach of Freehold Boro. The Township was trailing at 4-1 coming into the second half. The Township has come back. They trail it now only by 1 goal. The score is 4-3, so 20 more minutes of alumni soccer coming up on TV 34. We hope you'll stay with us. We'll be back with more in just a minute. Township High School for the fourth and final quarter of this alumni soccer match. That's Todd Zimmerman of Freehold Township on the bench. He scored one of the goals in that third quarter for Freehold Township. The Township trails it by 1, 4-3. action is resumed here in the fourth quarter. To run it down quickly, the scoring, Mike Gansler scored 2 goals for the Township, along with Todd Zimmerman. And for Freehold Boro, their goals were scored by Stu Schilling, Paul Zuber, and 2 by Bobby Schlentz. We had a halftime count of 4-1. Freehold Boro coach Heshy Moses was up with us in the booth. He's returned to the sidelines in the second half, and his team's in trouble. And the man who did the coaching in the first half is with us, Jack Cunard of Freehold Boro. There's Heshy. He knows the pressure's on. And also with me up in the booth is Freehold Township's John Scharf. John is the freshman coach for boys soccer here at the Township and also the girls varsity softball coach. So we've tried to give equal time to both of the schools. And the players out there are given equal time. They're doing a good job, and it looks like they're going to try to equalize it. Township has really put the pressure on. Here's some trouble inside. There's a whistle, and referee Rich Mirren has a call. They're going to go the other way with it. And Rich Mirren doing the refereeing along with Gene Tutzauer. Rich is a student here at Freehold Township High School, John, and that's a pretty big game for him.
Well, I think Rich is used to it. He's had his license for a few years now, does a lot of youth games. He's a senior. He'll be going to University of California, Berkeley, which is kind of a nice place to go.
I'd say so, particularly in the wintertime. Of course, Rich is going on a referee scholarship, right?
Township changed goalie. Steve Condrup is now in the goal, replaced Timmy Gooder.
I'm glad you're here to straighten us out. In the first half, I wasn't sure who it was. Now, as soon as you mention his name, I recognize him. And my apologies to Steve. Of course, he's the son of Arthur Condrup, a well-known figure here in Freehold Township. Used to be a member of the Township Committee. I'm not sure if he still is. And Condrup came off the line nicely to stop that one. He's shaken up, but a nice play by goalkeeper Condrup.
Steve goes to Stockton State. He'll be competing for the starting goalie position down there, I'm sure, in the fall.
Well, if he makes too many more plays like that, he's going to earn that starting spot, because that was not an easy save. Coach Dave Warner back in the match for Freehold Boro. There he is. Oh, he tries to flick it off, and a dangerous pass intercepted, what we call a hospital pass. Mr. Cunard, he laid that one out and left his teammate exposed to the tackle.
He sure did. Then he had a beautiful kick directly across field to nobody. But that's called shifting the field.
That's right. He's just trying to switch it.
I think that's it. I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to Heshy, because our matchup zone defense in the first half worked a lot better than what's happening out there now. A lot of people running through, so Heshy's going to have to switch. We're always very lucky in basketball with the 3-2-1 defense. It really worked very well, especially when the refs were a little older. That's Brian Grohl on the header. Brian Grohl.
A little bit easier out there also, Jack. Only 5 guys, and of course when you
a lot easier.
Plus the fact you tell your guys you have 21, you got 32. What can Bill DePep say? You got the guy in a yellow penny.
Well, I guess that's true. But at least the Township kids can't make a mistake, because they're bound to pick up somebody in yellow.
That's right.
That's Brian Grohl in the middle of the field. Brian was a tremendous soccer player for the Borough. Did just about everything. We went all the way to, I believe, the state semifinals that year with Brian. There are quite a few members of that team out there. The fella in the goal, Paul Niehauser, was the backup goalie on that squad.
Nice move, and Condrup off the line again. Good save by Steve.
That was Stu Schilling. On that front line, you have Schilling and Bobby Schlentz and Billy Tully.
Stu Schilling has already scored 1 goal tonight.
That's Billy Tully. On the Borough squad, we have 2 sets of brothers, Brian Grohl and Peter Grohl, and then there's Richie Schlentz and Bobby Schlentz. They're not all in together at this time. They were a little bit earlier in the game. That's Brian Grohl through. Brian Grohl with the near miss. So
hit the side netting. It looked like it might get it in. And
from here, it looked like it was going in, but good angle on the goalie spot.
Well, John, we've got a family affair on the Borough side. How's it look for the Township?
We have the 2 Schnabel brothers. That's Chris and Craig. And we also have Jim Gallagher, number 20, and John Gallagher, number 7.
And we are in the 4th quarter here at Freehold Township. The score is 4-3 Township leading the borough. Oh, Dave Warner, look at him trap it, but he's got to get rid of it quicker than that. The spring has left his legs. He doesn't look like the oldest guy out there, though, John. You know that, Dave Warner?
Well, I'll tell you, he left his cane and out in the car, and he hobbled over here, but the man's doing well.
Lights it in the box, headed down. And that's taken away. That's number 19.
It's Chris Peterson for the Township.
Nice move. Players starting to get a little bit impatient the last 10 minutes or so. John, in the beginning of the game and throughout most of the first 3 quarters, everything was down. Now they're starting to go a little longer with it. Oh, here comes some trouble. 18-yarder right into the gut
Fine stop.
of goalkeeper Paul Newhouser. Good save.
I'm sure a lot of these players will be a little sore tomorrow.
It's tough to come out, even if you've been running and keeping yourself in shape. It's tough to come out and play a soccer match if you're not match fit. And I don't care how old or young you are.
You feel it in the hips, the knees, everywhere. Those little digs into the shins.
Of course, you got a guy like Gene Tutzauer refereeing. There's a couple knocks here and there. I'm letting Gene have it good because I can't wait to get him when he's coaching one of his teams and he comes after me.
He'll catch up with you. I'm sure Gene will catch up with you, Bobby.
Oh, I'm sure he will. I've refereed a number of his games, and seriously, he's a real gentleman and does a good job with his kids.
Gene's girls did real well. They just, unfortunately, they lost to a very strong Toms River East team in the girls short conference tournament.
Davey Warner with a beautiful cross. It was headed over the bar by Billy Tully. There's Dave. Well, you mentioned that short conference tournament championship that Gene Tutzauer's team played in. They were defeated by East 1-0. It looks like it's Freehold Township week here on TV 34. We had the girls in the soccer match, and then Bernie Goldwater's baseball team in the short conference final. They defeated Red Bank Catholic, and of course tonight it's the alumni of the township and the borough. So it's a good week for Freehold Township on TV anyway.
It seems like it. All this free publicity, we can't complain, I guess.
Well, that one was driven over the bar, so it'll be a goal kick. We mentioned the clock is not working. We're about midway through the 4th and final quarter. The score is 4-3. The borough leads it. Ted Burke has just gone into the game. And Davey Warner has come out, so Heshy Moses, Jack, not giving Dave as much time as you gave him in that first half.
Well, you know, he has to rest him now. One thing I'd like to remark, I was fortunate enough to be at that baseball game yesterday, and Bernie Goldwater's team did a great job. And Bernie and I go back a lot of years, and he does one tremendous job with that baseball program. And it was really fun being there. You know, I don't make any bones about telling people when we don't play the township, I root for the township openly. I happen to have 2 daughters go here to the school, and we're fortunate enough to be coached by the gentleman across from me in softball and by John Sharapper in basketball, and they both did a tremendous job. I mean the coaches.
Well,
girls did too.
Of course, you're listening to Jack Cunard of Freehold Boro. He is the head boys basketball coach. And Jack, are you an assistant soccer coach also?
I'm Heshy's one of Heshy's 2 assistants, and I also am Cal Wilson's assistant track coach. So I keep busy.
You sure do. And also with us is John Scharf of Freehold Township High School, the freshman soccer coach here at the township, along with being the varsity softball coach. And that baseball game you remarked about was that big short conference victory by the township. And speaking of victories, the township hasn't given up. A good shot, a nice save by Newhouser.
Paul Newhouser again. Paul's an excellent goalie. He just had the misfortune of being the backup goalie to Richie Schlentz, who was right up there all shore at that time. And as you can see, Paul has a lot of talent. Just recently graduated. Going to be an engineer for Fort Monmouth in a couple of weeks.
It was a good save by Newhouser, and Alan Meinster took the shot. He took it well.
I think
Excuse
I'm
me,
sorry,
Jack.
Bobby.
I've been calling him Newhauser. Is it?
It's Nyhauser. I always had a little trouble. I only knew him 4 years. I think Heshy's now trying to give one of his motivational speeches out there.
Well, he's done something right to get his team invited to go to Scotland this summer.
Oh, and he's worked very hard, as have the kids, to raise the money, and they just about have reached their goal now. It took a lot of money, and it's going to be a great experience for the youngsters. I think Heshy has 24 youngsters going, and some parents, and one of our former assistants, Joe Quigley, is going to go over with them, and a couple of other people, so it should be a great experience. Unfortunately, I have to stay home and do some work because I have a daughter entering college, so somebody has to earn some money.
Yeah, that can be a problem sometimes. Of course, your daughter played on the Freehold Township basketball team. They had quite a year. So
Yes, they did. They had a great year.
Not too many long faces in your family this year over hoop season.
We had a good year. The only thing that was long at times was Daddy couldn't get to see some of their games and vice versa, but it worked out. It's nice to be close because we were able to see parts of each other's games, and that's good. We've always been a family that believes in doing things together and being at the games and such, and had a lot of fun rooting for Coach Schaaf's softball team. I was the biggest mouth on the field.
I don't believe that.
I think, he'll attest to that when I give him back the mic.
He was just ready to wrestle it away from you, actually.
I could tell you, Jack and his two daughters, they come out and they support us all the time. But I'll tell you, Jack saved me a few times from disputes with officials, and thank
John,
God he
come
was
on.
there.
I don't even want to hear that. I can't believe, John, that you'd ever have anything to say to an official. You're a pretty mild-mannered guy.
Yeah,
No, only when it was a bad call.
I try to get along with all of them. I don't know. Just don't see it my way, I guess.
What I would do is sacrifice my big mouth so that John could stay in coach and let them throw me out of the stands as a spectator.
Well, as the game continues on, I have to ask both of you guys this. Officials, coaches and all, high school, what do you see the role as the coach with that? Do you think we get too much of it on the officials? I know it's tough to keep it in, but you see TV and you see coaches throwing things and Bobby Knight throwing chairs out on courts and so forth. And I think some of the people really believe that that's part of a coach's job, and I just wonder what your opinions would be on that.
Well, basically, I think the umpires, the officials, soccer officials, umpires, I think they all do a great job. They're not out to try to take anything away from anybody. Of course, they're going to see things differently than you. And the heat of battle, you get a little excited. But I think for the most part, they do an outstanding job.
Okay, have there been times where you really feel bad because maybe you lost it a little bit?
No. I feel sometimes if you're right, you're right. And what can you say there?
Okay, how about you, Jack?
I kind of agree with John on that. And I would say, too, that the officials, for the most part, do a good job. And I think as a coach, what you look for is consistency. Sometimes you just don't feel things are going the same way at your end of the court as they are at the other end of the court. And I think that's the case. And there are times you have to defend your young people. For the most part, however, you are the guy, you are the adult in charge, and you're responsible for their conduct on the floor. So sometimes you have to hold back and just make sure that the kids respond the way they should. You can't go out and act crazy. And I hate to see coaches going nutty. But at the same token, we do have a job, and we teach kids one thing, and if the official goes and calls it opposite to what we teach, the youngster looks around at us and says, well, how come you're teaching me that?
Yeah, good point.
But again, I would say that the shore officials, for the most part, are very, very consistent, and that's the key to an official. I think any coach will agree to that.
Okay, well, let's get back to the game. We just saw a hard shot by Matt Feldman. I appreciate your comments, gentlemen, because I think that can be a problem sometimes. It's nice to know that you have a good handle on it. The score is 4-3. Freehold Boro is leading Freehold Township. The township is wearing the home white, the Boro in the gold pennies. And it was 4-1 at halftime, and it looked
Teddy Burke on the throw-in.
It looked like Freehold Boro had it all set up, but the township came back, and right now it's only a 1-goal lead for the Boro. And the Boro is looking to increase that lead to 2. They've been putting the pressure on the last 4 or 5 minutes.
That's Jimmy Coleman down the middle with the shot and the goal.
Off the
Set
bar.
up on Billy Tully.
Nothing that Condrup could do on that one. Steve Condrup tried to get to it, but if you kiss it off the post, shot like that, nothing the keeper can do. It's 5-3, and the Borough celebrates.
Jimmy Coleman was a good goal scorer for us. He was hurt a lot of his senior year, but struggled through and was a great team leader for us. We're fortunate enough to have his younger brother who will be starting his senior year for us next year, an equally talented soccer player.
I see Bill DePep's put some of the township goal scorers back on the line. You have
Excuse me, John. I just want to take a look here. Let's look at it. This is the goal once again on the replay. It's flighted in the box.
Billy Tully on the header, and Jimmy Coleman right down the middle. That's his spot.
And goalkeeper Steve Condrup, nothing he could do on that one. Nice shot by Jim Coleman. Hit the ball well with the left foot, kissed it off the post. It makes it 5-3. So it's been an entertaining game. A lot of goals scored. Schnabel with an unusual dummy over the ball. And Gene Tutzauer weakly blows his whistle and gets some boos as the ball goes over the sideline. There's Gene. He's not even perspiring out there. Yeah.
That's Brian Grohl.
And here comes the Township. They need 2 to tie it up.
That's Peter Hess getting the ball up. Stuart Schilling trying to run it down. Just didn't have the speed.
Condrup comes off the line to smother it. Quick release on it.
As you know, as I was saying before, we've got Craig Schnabel back into the line. He's over here on the right wing. Mike Kanzler coming across.
This is Duffy right there. Shoot it. Cranks it up, partially
Paul
deflected.
Nyhauser again with the stop.
But Nyhauser had that one covered. Duffy took the right shot, though.
I think it's been a well-played game.
No doubt about it, John. The individual skills are, you don't see too many missed traps or anything. We've only seen 2 or 3 shots go far off the mark. The others were all good, effective shots, maybe a little wide or high, but right on net.
I think one thing, a lesson for some of the youngsters to pick up on is some of this excellent passing and moving that we're seeing here.
I agree with you, John, and these fellows haven't played together for quite a while.
No, it just goes to show you how basic soccer really is. If you know the basics, pass the ball, move, you could play with anyone.
That's it.
That's the tough part of coaching the sport, too. We'll talk about that in a minute. Ooh, some contact there.
That's
but
Bobby Schlentz.
Oh, almost snuck it near post behind Condrup. Condrup tried to read the cross and just made the save. But I think the difference between coaching soccer and basketball, Jack, is the fact that basketball, you've got some control of the game once it starts. You have timeouts, you can change up defenses and all. Soccer, if you haven't done it in practice, forget it. It's too late to change it.
I agree with you, Bobby. It's a lot of fun. I never realized how good it was until I got into coaching back under Ed Shakespeare years ago, and again working with Heshy, and it has a lot of similarities to basketball, but you hit the nail on the head. Once they're out in the field, there's not much you can do.
No, there's really not. You can make a few substitutions, put some speed into a lineup here and there, but other than that, the boys are pretty much on their own. Practice is real important in this game.
That's right. There's very few X's and O's where you go here and I go there. You have to go out and just read the game, and the guys who read it the best are the ones that are most effective. This is Township. Nice move down the left side. They try to cut it across. Weakly cut it across, though. And Nyhauser having a good second quarter or fourth quarter. Nyhauser has played the second and the fourth quarter. Rich Schlentz played the first and third. For the Township, it was Tim Guter in the first and third quarter and Steve Condrup in the second and fourth period. So both coaches giving equal time to the goalkeepers.
Todd Zimmerman reporting back into the Patriot lineup.
There's Todd, number 21. Coming out
That's,
of the...
Don Higley going in for Jimmy Coleman.
Doug Kretzmer being replaced there by Todd. Doug's played a good game tonight. He's had a few shots on goal, been in the thick of things. Too bad he couldn't put one in for us.
I'd like to remark on one thing Coach Schaaf said before. We both profit, both schools, from that Freehold youth program. When I first started coaching, I knew very little, if anything at all, about soccer, and yet was able to produce a winning soccer team much because the kids came with talents, and it was just a matter of trying to motivate them and keep them together. Those people who teach the kids from grades 1 to 8 and such, they're the ones that do the real job.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. I know the boys that I get come up, you know, freshman team, for the most part, they all have excellent skills. They're very well coached. It makes it a real easy job for me.
It makes it a great job for me because I don't have any skills right now.
Well, if you don't have the skills, you're doing something right, Jack, because you put good teams out every year.
Well, that's what I say. I think it's a matter of trying to condition those skills and put them in the team framework. As you can see out the, I think soccer is a remarkable sport when you see what these kids can do with the ball. And controlling everything without their hands just is a remarkable thing to me.
Why is it not catching on in the country spectator-wise?
You know, we've talked about this a lot. Ed Shakespeare, as I said, was Heshe's predecessor as head coach at the Borough, and he's a soccer man, and we sit down a lot and talk about it. And I think the American public wants scoring, and I don't think they can appreciate an hour and 20 minutes of 1-0 soccer. I just don't think they can appreciate all the fundamentals that go on. Well, that's the last whistle. So I guess I can't yell at Heshe because 5-3 is the final score, and he only gave up 1 goal of my lead. So I guess we'll let him keep his job.
He hung in there. He'll go to Europe. John, how about final comment for you on the same thing? Why isn't the sport catching on better?
Well, I'd have to agree with Jack. I just don't, you know, people are used to seeing 100 points in a basketball game, 7-8 runs in a baseball game. Hockey now, well, you know, you're looking at 5, 6, 7 goals a game, whereas soccer, you'll see a good match is 2-1, 1-0, 3 if you're lucky.
I have to agree with you, and we're tied to the international sport, and it's well known and the most popular game in the world. So until we can change the rules or maybe make 5 points for a goal or something, we might have some problems. The people are just not turning out the way we'd like to see them. But you had a nice crowd here tonight. It was the alumni soccer match between Freehold Township and Freehold Boro. The final score, Freehold Boro 5 and the Township 3. Scoring for Freehold Boro was Stu Schilling, Paul Zuber, Bobby Schlentz had 2, and Jimmy Coleman had the 5th and final goal for Freehold Boro. For Freehold Township, Mike Kanzler with 2 goals and Todd Zimmerman with 1. So we hope you've enjoyed our coverage of this alumni soccer match from Freehold Township High School. I know the players had a good time. My thanks to Heshe Moses, Jack Cunert, and John Sharp for being with us. Thanks, fellas. Enjoyed it.
Thanks very much, Bobby.
And as you see some of the players, they look pretty fresh right now, but I'm sure they'll be tired in the morning. That does it from Freehold Township. The final score 5-3. The Borough wins it, their first one in the series. The series started in '84. For Heshe Moses, Jack Cunert, and John Sharp, I'm Bob Lampton saying so long. We thank you for watching. This has been a TV 34 sports presentation.